Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about three rather narcissistic people. And two of them, they have also kind of histrionic behaviors, a blend. I'm not diagnosing anybody, but they tend to just be way out there. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll just get into it. Now, Veronica, she is a woman who has this grandiose sense of herself, and so does Cassie. She's very similar to Cassie in this grandiose view of herself. And Veronica can come up with some of the strangest ways of basically saying she has all that it takes to be whatever it is at the moment. She is one person who just goes from one thing to another, whatever just floats her boat at that time, whatever is popular, she'll go down that route. She's very easily influenced by others, and she doesn't really lay any, have any one particular interest at any time. Okay, now let me give an example of some of the things that this type might say. Something like she will see herself as a part of a larger group, but she doesn't really have the credentials to be in that particular group. But she would try to justify, she would try to find ways to say that she is, such as something, it could be, she didn't say this, but it could be something as stupid as that, an example would be like, you can put a classified ad in a newspaper, okay, an actual paper newspaper. And she would say, well, she considers herself as a professional journalist. And she's not. She doesn't have any credentials to be considered a professional journalist. But she said, hey, I put a classified ad in the newspaper, and it got published. So I'm a published professional journalist. And she didn't say that, but she would say something like that. Something that other people would go, what? But some people are gullible enough to believe in whatever she says. Even if it's that stupid, that just know that isn't what makes somebody a professional journalist. She considers herself as a reporter also, journalist reporter. And if she so chooses at that moment to consider herself that. But it's not always that. It's anything that floats her boat at the moment. She will come up with some crazy crap to say, that makes her that, no matter what. Now, when she includes herself in whatever it is at the moment, when she talks about it to other people, or she'll make up her own kind of job. Now, Veronica comes from a wealthy family. All of her siblings, they're older. Some of them were in their 50s, and all of them were given names that began with the letter V. Okay, like Veronica, and they all have some kind of form of delusion. They're a bit delusional. So some think, some don't think. Maybe that's the whole thing, they don't think. But Veronica, like I said, she doesn't need to work, but she wants to because it gives her attention. She's around other people, besides just her family. Now they all have their own house, but where they live, the county they live in Texas, Victorson County, it's common for like people who had generation after generation, they inherited property. Well, they would just build onto the original house for the a new family, or they would, eventually they attached all the houses together for one big mansion, but they still have like their own wing, I guess you would call it, their own wing. So she really doesn't care the attention from her sisters. She wants attention from, people outside. Now, she is somewhat, I wouldn't call her beautiful, but she's pretty. Okay, somewhat. She has a little flaw on her face. I won't go in detail, but she uses it. She covers it up. She uses her, nice looks to also, get attention and to the point where she really just can go very wild with the way she dresses, the way she looks, and so she gets that attention. She doesn't care. It's good attention, bad attention. She wants that attention, and anybody else, they're haters. That's pretty common. And well, one of the people that she did get attention was Brett, and where she was working for him, she got his attention, and she almost got fired, but Brett stepped in to keep her job. He has a thing for her, so he owns. It's called Outcast Online. It's a social media platform that he developed with people, but it's his. And originally it was just for the town that he lived in, and in Victorson County. But then more recently, since like sometime in 2020, he made it for the whole county. It's a big long story there. I don't want to go into it. But anyway, he owns it and operates it, and he wants her to stay there. He doesn't want her to get fired, and it's basically she was getting fired because she was doing things she shouldn't be doing. She's the type that no rules apply to her, just much like Cassie. I mean, people who come up with that, just make up jobs that either don't exist, or people who, ones that do, or they're kind of shady or sketchy, or they're not yet regulated, or or ended. I mean, what would be the word? Terminated. Not allowed. Unlawful. Something. She's the type to do that. She's just the type to claim whatever she wants. It's all up for grabs, even though it's not. And anyway, so Brett kind of stepped in and told her that she would stop doing the job that she was doing, but he wanted her to become a team lead in his business, to keep tabs on things that are going on. She's one of them that's going on in the Outcast Online. Did I say Outcast Online? Now, he didn't reveal all the details, but basically he is in a position where he has to do this. He's not telling her that. He's trying to make himself, he's rather narcissistic, and he wants anything for anybody to think about him. It has to be good attention. It has to be good thoughts, and that he is so wonderful and so great and so everything, so whatever is the thing about him. And so he hires her to be that team lead, but what he wants her to do, a bit on the funny side, but is he wants her and her team, her to be the team lead, and her team would be paying a lot of attention to the drama community / reaction, ones who do reaction videos, commentary videos, parodies, clip channels, whatever, that is where they do a lot of gossiping and they do a lot of speculation, and not so much, some of it's speculation, and it kind of bleeds over into other communities, but he gave her this one. Now, he does also hire Cassie for another one, and then there's a woman, Meg. She basically kind of she's the one that he's not talking about why he was kind of forced into doing this. So anyway, that's a whole separate story. Anyway, so Veronica, she said fine, but she said one thing, is she wants to work from home. From her home. Now, she has an office, a huge office in her house, and her part of the house, and so he agrees. He basically would agree to anything, Veronica would go along with it. He sees, that she could help him out quite a bit. Of course, he's being narcissistic. He's very exploitative. Not all of them do the same thing in any of these. So, but yeah, he can see how she can benefit him. Plus, she has the looks to him. He's a little bit older than her. And anyway, so he says, sure, she can set up her office at home if she wants to. And but he said that that they have to meet, whether it's at her place or a restaurant or at his office, wherever, once a week to go over what her team's findings were. And Meg, the woman he's not talking about, not going to tell her about, she's either going to be there too, or she will be on, video conference, with them, most likely. If not, she will have, one of her team members. But he doesn't fill her into with all these details, like I'm saying, because that might take away from her looking at him like he's so big. And now one of the people that's going to be on Veronica's team is going to be somebody that Meg puts in there. Okay, but she's not going to know that either. So anyway, so now some people would say that, two narcissistic people would never be able to work together, to get along together, to be in a relationship together, to be anything. I disagree. I'm not the type that believes that one size fits all, and they don't all do the same thing anyway. But they're, especially like this one, she's narcissistic and histrionic. With her always trying to show off her looks. Brett likes that. Okay, that's something Brett thinks, like I just said, he can exploit her for. And, but it's kind of a mutual exploitation, so put it that way. And some of them can deal with that. There's, in my experience, personal experience, there's always a top dog in these kind of things. But now, as far as Cassie, she's not that. She tries to look, she tries to make herself look good and all this, and it just doesn't work. It just isn't working for her. And she's kind of a bit touchy about that. And she's not bad looking, but she's not good looking like Veronica. And now so is Brett. He's good looking. He's a nice looking man too. Well, he's a nice looking man. They're, women. So anyway, you got what I'm saying. But anyway, so he's using them. But now Meg is on the good side of everything. And yeah, that's, like I said, he's not talking about, because Meg and the good side of it all, and it's a good versus evil kind of thing that come from Virtual County. They their social media platform is Virtual County, and he had been working with them when they were young, when it was new, and he was just so narcissistic they kicked him out. And now he's trying to get back in good with them, but of course he's still trying to exploit the whole situation. And they have him wrapped around their little finger, though. They know ways to get him, and that would be to put him in jail, and he doesn't want to do that. So of course, So okay, where was I? I accidentally turned on the radio. But anyway, so he's not telling anybody, because, really it would make him not look at, as big as he is. And that's what he wants to do. But he has to play by the rules, and he is playing by the rules. As much, like how many narcissists can change their spots, They can do it temporarily, they can do it for a while, maybe years even. They can go for the rest of their lives just playing a game. That they're this, whatever it is, if it benefits them. But what's going on in their brain could be a totally different situation, and you never know, But not one size doesn't fit all, like I've said before. So no, it never does in any of my videos, unless it's pointed out it does fit all, but it doesn't. Anyway, but I think that's enough for this one. But yeah, they get into a lot more. They're having to play by the rules. But what do you do when you have people who are very manipulative and they're very convincing that they are what they're not? To say, she's a journalist, or she's, like I said, whatever it is, it's floating the boat, you know, it's got her fancy, whatever the terms are. At the time, you know, for Veronica, that's what she does. The same thing works for Cassie. Cassie's a little older, or no, Cassie's around the same age, maybe. I can't remember, but anyway. So read the disclaimers in the description box below this video on YouTube. I'm wrapping it up. I'm losing my voice for one thing, and there's a storm coming. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.